Good day, everyone. Welcome back to the Doc of Detox live Q&A. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe. And so today, I'm going to be answering all your questions, whether they're nutritional, emotional, or they're about exercise, or about any type of condition. It could be acute, it could be chronic. Understand something. When I give you advice, I'm giving you advice, what I would do in my situation. And you know what the craziest thing is? Think about it. If everything was the way it's supposed to be on this planet, you would know what to do for yourself already. I need you to get this, okay? So we know that we got to change the vacuum cleaner bag, but we don't know that we got to cleanse our colon and liver. Okay. We know that we got to change the filter in the car every few months, but we don't know how to look after ourselves. We don't even think about this. We don't even know how to have a relationship or even communicate with this beautiful body of ours. I mean, think about it. 50 trillion cells, all they want you to do is to love, honor, and respect themselves. They want that from you. But they want to do it, they want to love and honor and respect themselves. Now, how are they going to do it? Well, they can't do it unless you're going to do it for yourself. But you don't know how to do it for yourself because you can't know better or do better until you've been taught better. Now, let's take a look at the environment today in health. What is it based on? Well, it's either based on treatment, okay, and more treatment and drugs and surgery in most cases. Now understand something. Whether one wants to believe this or not, but at least 95% of the population that goes for surgery should have never have went. That's it. Should never have went. And the reality is you don't have to. Did you know that I've only had one small surgery and I opted for that surgery? But I've never had any other surgeries, and I'll never have any other surgeries in my life. Now you're going, now who's he to say that? When people in North America have 9.2 surgeries in their lifetime, I'm going to tell you I'm never going to have a surgery no matter how long I live. But I can honestly say that. I mean, you know that when you go out and you don't have an umbrella, you're going to get wet. I know that if you're going to follow the herd, if you're going to eat like the rest of the family, if you're going to be like everybody else, okay, eat like everybody else, think like everybody else, drink like everybody else, you're going to get sick like everybody else. You know, and I've talked about this before, you know. There's many people in my family that wouldn't be alive today if it wasn't for emergency medicine, otherwise surgery. But the reality is this, is that how many of those surgeries could have been avoided if that person would have been given, okay, an actual manual that wasn't full of lies, okay? So what am I getting at? Well, let's take a look at it this way. Women, because they're women, they get made responsible for the health of their family. In most cases, am I right or wrong? Now, what if you were a very caring person, which women are? They already know about care and love. Men have to work on it a lot harder. Now, what if you cared so much, but you were given a manual that was full of lies and deception? Can you believe that since I was born, that I can remember, that my government would tell my family how to eat? Are we like totally out of our minds? You're actually going to listen to a politician? Or you're going to, because understand something, government would never allow a quack like me to be able to tell people how to eat or treat themselves. Would they? No. Because guess what? Government is totally corporate. We're talking about totally corporate. They're totally corporate. So being totally corporate means that corporation is going to pick who's going to be talking and saying and doing what. And remember something, corporations have a bottom line, so corporations need to make money, and corporations are not alive. They don't have a beating heart. They don't even have a pulse. But I'll tell you something, that doesn't mean they're dead. It just means they have a ferocious appetite for a bottom line. So don't think that a corporation is going to get someone speaking about health that's going to empower you, is going to train you. Understand something. Right now, the average person looks after themselves 2 to 5%. Think about that. 95 to 98% of all the rest of it is dependent on you letting yourself turn into an emergency and running to the doctor for a fart attack or a heart attack, okay, and eventually going to get numbed out by drugs. And then when the scar tissue and the crystallization and the displaced calcium gets so big that then you get to go for surgery and then more drugs. That's not a life at all. And this is the type of life that people are living. Now, understand this. Think about this. If I wanted to take over the human race, first thing I would do is make them sick. Yeah, I would make sure that I gave them an inflamed diet, and a diet that creates inflammation in their body. And the reason why it's going to cause inflammation in their body is because of all the chemicals and drugs in there. So that's going to create inflammation that causes the scar tissue formation, the displaced calcium, and the crystallization, which causes blocks throughout the body everywhere. So if you block things, you know that you don't have the same amount of energy because you don't have the same amount of blood flow. So if you're always trying to battle because you've got blocks and infection in you and you're chemically poisoned, then you're never going to have any energy. Well, that's where most of society is right now. This is the only reason why they're being able to do what they're doing. It's because, honey, I'm so exhausted, I can't even get off the couch. And what if you were in so much pain that you couldn't focus on staying in the present moment? And if you can't be in the present moment, then you can't deal with really any issues. When you've got so many issues in your tissues, you can't deal with the issues at hand. You can't even be there present for your children, for your wife, for your husband. It's not your fault. And I want to tell everybody out there, you're not stupid, okay? And you're not broken. The system's broken. Okay? For one thing, if you're not going to go and take a look and try to eat a whole plant-based diet and you don't know how to clean out your colon or how to flush out your liver of all those toxins you've been building up, all those chemicals, all those years, then guess what? You are going to be the average 40-year-old, 50-year-old, 60-year-old, 70-year-old. It takes energy to win a battle. But what if you have no energy? Wow, then you might be like the majority of the population, just giving away your human rights. That's what we're doing, aren't we? And the reality is it's not your fault, but you know, it is your responsibility. It's because it is your responsibility to look after that God-given body. And this is why I have this show. This is why I put my library together. Go take a look at the Perfect Day Guide. Go look at the 4 pillars. Go look at my masterclass. It's free until the new year. How to become number 1 at the art of number 2. Just go into my library and click in there. It's a free access. Go look at the A to Z Wellness Masterclass guide. And guess what? Go and watch the video we did. You know what? We worked on that video for 2.5 months. And it's only 2 hours. And in that 2 hours, you're going to learn so much. And that's in the A to Z Wellness Guide. And it's a video. It starts off, it's a 2-hour video. And then you can look at any other body part and go take a look at why this happened and what the medical system would do and what we can do for you. And then once you've done your homework and then you hear me say that I'll give you a money-back guarantee that if you do a whole life consultation on us, with us, not on us, if you do a consultation with us, that we're going to give you a money back guarantee on it. Because if you knew how to create the perfect day on an emotional, nutritional level, you would own. Nobody would own you. You wouldn't be worried about, oh, I can't wait for my next checkup so I can see if I've got a disease or if it's gone, or, yeah, that's what it's all about, right? The only people that worry are people that have never been given the information to totally master their mind, to master their body. So you got to be given information that's going to give you step-by-step process. And understand something. You got to get this. Whether we're talking about medical health or we're talking about natural health, it's been made to look so difficult that you could never figure it out. You need years of training like me or him or her. No, you don't. That's not true. That's not true at all. Right now, we have a family in training here, and they're here for a personal treatment and training, and they do not know about real health. Okay, they have a big farm, and they eat meat 3 times a day. They do a lot of baking. They do a lot of dairy. And understand something, they're inflamed. They're retaining water. They've got aches and pains everywhere. So the reality is if you eat, okay, the diet that our government has laid out, which is the same diet that the medical system lays out, the same diet that dietitians lay out for you, then you'll be laid out, okay? And you'll be sold off by the pound, okay? You'll be milked of your money, and then you will head to the butchers. And you will go there 9.2 times for the average person in North America. Gets 9.2 surgeries. I don't know how the 0.2 got in there, but I guess it's just an average. So it's hard to make people believe that things can be so simple and so easy. Things have been made to be difficult, and everything in the medical industry has been given big names. It could be even Greek names. But this is all to make you feel like, oh my God, I could never figure this out. Nope, just the white coats. Only the white coats could figure it all out. Let me tell you something right now. If I ever get into an emergency accident or something like that, there's nowhere else better to be. But for the medical industry and the pharmaceutical industry to take up and declare themselves the holy grail of health, and even though you know they're not, you're not present most of the time. They count on you reacting and not breathing and thinking straight. The reality is if you don't understand body talk and you don't understand that when you have a symptom is not a disease, even all the way to cancer. Cancer is a symptom. If you don't understand that your body loves you, just like your wife or your husband loves you, and sometimes they get upset with you and they raise their voice. Your body raises its voice and it says, sweetheart, please get aligned. Get back into alignment. The reality is, if we didn't have that GPS called pain, you'd be dead already. Because this is the generation of overconsumption with everything. Mega this, mega that. And guess what? You thought you had something to fear before COVID. Now, if you had a fearful program that you were running before COVID, you're ready to blow your head off, okay? Through alcohol, through sugar, through flour, through medication, street or pharmaceutical. And that's the reality. And you know, the big thing is that we are so terrorizing to our families when we are in fear mode, when we are in a sympathetic state, continually dumping adrenaline and cortisol and histamine into our body, even though we're just sitting there and the acid is just eating us away and eating our nervous system away. I did a one-a-day this morning, and it was kind of like this. What if we could love ourselves well? That's right. Loving ourselves well, each other. Are you ready? Are you ready to stop going to war for the bankers? Are you ready to stop going to war? Look at, if you're going to watch regular news, media, then they're going to want you to, they're going to be pinning you to go to war with some different nation, some different colors, some different religion. I mean, that's what planet Earth is so amazing about. Variety is the spice of life. Especially when you mix it with love. Especially when you fill your heart up with love from yourself. Because only hurt people hurt people. And lonely people hurt people. And people with broken hearts hurt people. You know, we're going to keep talking. We're going to keep working on this. But self-care, self-love is not selfish. I know when I've been selfish in my life because I hurt people. I know that some people feel hurt because my belief systems are so much different than theirs. And that's the deal. Don't let yourself get hurt because somebody else's beliefs are different. You know, there should only be one rule: do no harm. If we do no harm to our brothers and sisters, and you know what? I'll tell you something. Everybody's my brother and sister. Everybody on this planet. I don't care what color, what size. I don't care if they're, I do care, but they can be sick, they can be well, they can speak a different language. It really doesn't matter. And this is the only way that this world will still remain a place that you want to live in. Oh yeah, it is self-love. It is self-care. My gosh, if there was just one person in every family that held the line, self-love, self-care, boy, do you think that affects everyone? Yes, it does. It's the ripple effect. It's the way it is. So anyways, I don't know, guys. I hope this isn't true, but I got a note from Facebook saying that we used a photo and I don't even know what the photo is. I haven't got a clue. But Facebook is saying that by tomorrow, they're going to discontinue my Facebook forever. So we'll find out exactly what's going on. So know this, that if I do get eliminated from Facebook, I will still be on Telegram and I'll still be on BitChute, okay? And I guess Instagram. But hopefully we can find out what's going on here. And the other thing is that Facebook is getting stickier and stickier. So all my Wolfe reports from this moment on will be on Telegram and BitChute. And you can go to Telegram to Doc of Detox on Telegram or BitChute, and you'll see all the things that I will not post on Facebook because I want to be able to reach you. So I will only be talking health. Okay, when it comes to Facebook. That's if. Let's see if by noon tomorrow or by 5 o'clock tomorrow, I even have a Facebook. And what is what is. And you know what? That's the way it is. But at the same point, I don't want to lose connection with everyone. Okay? All right? Because you got to understand something. This is a good platform if you're trying to do good things. Lori, in your Q&A with Jay Lee, you mentioned taking calcium, a calcium supplement with calcium ion therapy. See, people have already sent in their questions, okay? So if you want your questions answered, I've got about 8, 9 here. I'm only going to take about 20. So first come, first serve, okay, everybody? In your Q&A with Jay Lee, you mentioned taking a calcium supplement with calcium ion therapy. Could cause problems. Is it okay if you are taking a supplement that has calcium as one of the side ingredients, or should all calcium be avoided other than from food when doing calcium ion therapy? Okay, guess what? There are no good calcium supplements, okay? Calcium ion therapy, okay? For those of you who don't know about that, you can go to my library and click on calcium ion guide and go in there, and we've got videos on basically every illness cancer, autoimmune diseases, diabetes, dental problems, Alzheimer's, it goes on and on. Okay, neurological diseases, but you can go check it out for yourself. No, you don't want to be taking calcium supplements, but we do utilize the calcium from whole plant-based foods. We need that. Believe it or not, people who don't eat a lot of whole plant-based foods, fruits, vegetables, right? Even whole grains, okay, ancient grains, all right, sprouts, I could keep going on. But if you don't do that, you're not getting it. We need both types of calcium. And with the calcium ion therapy, it's the only product in the world like this. I mean, this product you will reverse osteoporosis. We've had people in their 80s that have reversed osteoporosis within 9 to 12 months and having the bone structure of a 30, 40-year-old. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this. There's enough testimony, enough science to back this up. Remember that calcium ions, they work on over 100,000 different processes in the human body per second. And that's why we have more calcium in the human body than anything else. But the reality is through all this fear tactics that's going on, is scaring the crap out of people so people don't eat right, they don't drink right, they don't think right. So they're so inflamed, and when you're so inflamed, you're on fire. When you're on fire, you're eating up oxygen and alkaline minerals, and you can't do that because if your blood pH just drops a little bit, you could die. So then you're going to pull out all this calcium from your bones just to keep you alive. But no, the answer is this. You would not take another calcium supplement. You give me a calcium supplement, even if they say that, this is an ionic calcium, it's just a word, okay? Because it's not actually calciums of ion. There is only one product in the world, and that's the one that we carry, okay? And if you're interested, anybody, that's Merigen, which is the strongest one, but we have 5 different ones. One's for Alzheimer's, one for joints called Cardigen, another one Megagen, which is a maintenance one. Dentagen is which for your teeth and your jaw. You haven't seen anything like that before. Instead of getting a bone graft, trust me, this will do it for you naturally, okay? If your teeth are loose, this will tighten them up. If you've got jaw problems, receding gums, you've never seen anything like this. And we have another one called Ozo Jr., which is for young children, okay? Mary, my friend has a skin condition called common. It's a non-cancerous skin condition she has. Do you have any information? Well, first of all, okay. It doesn't matter what skin condition that you have, okay? It doesn't matter which one you have. You got to look to the bowel. The skin is just the mirror of the actual health of your bowel. And that's the truth. I'm telling you the truth. We're supposed to have 85% good bacteria and maybe up to 15% bad bacteria. And actually, in 95% of the population, it's actually reversed. I didn't make this up. It's actually reversed. That's why, believe it or not, 92% of the population has an autoimmune disease. 80% have diabetes. Okay? Not 80%. 80% are pre-diabetic. Okay, that's why 60% of the population will deal with cancer in their lifetime. That's why 60% of the population will suffer from a heart attack or heart disease. Okay, and this all comes back to this. Okay, it's called gut-brain connection. You've heard about that many times, right? Well, what do you think the gut-brain connection is? Your bacteria talk to your brain 9 times for every only 1 time your brain talks to the bacteria. Your bacteria are continually formulating and sending information in. But what if, okay, just saying, what if your bacteria were bad bacteria? Then they would give bad information, wouldn't they? Remember the last time you were in a bad mood? Okay, well, you gave bad information. And understand something. What's gotten under your skin? On an emotional level, what's gotten under your skin? Did you get that? On an emotional level, what's gotten under your skin? All right, so take a look at what's gotten under your skin on an emotional level. Get in there and do my daily cleansing tea and start really flushing that bowel out, get the cork out, okay? And if you wanted to take it further, then what you want to do is you would actually use what's called Tummy Love and you put a teaspoon in every 16 ounces of water, and you'll do about a teaspoon twice a day up to a level tablespoon twice a day of the black gold to go in and restore the whole highway, the digestive tract. Now, what else would you do? Well, if I had a skin problem, I'll tell you what I'd be doing. For one thing, I'd make sure that I wasn't showering in chlorinated water. I would get myself a shower dechlorinator. I usually don't shoot the Q&As up here. Oh, here it is. That will never wear out, never break down. That's a structured water unit. So it doesn't need a filter, and it will totally give you non-toxic shower water, but the water will come out as silk and it'll start helping to heal the skin. I'm not making this up. People who actually shower in a chlorinated shower will take in anywhere from 10 to 20 glasses worth of chlorine in their skin. Go figure. Cancer-causing chemical. Yeah, and a lot of people don't just have chlorine. What do they have? They also have fluoride, okay, in their water, okay, which we know is a neurotoxin, okay? All right. Now, the other thing that you can do is skin brush. Take a look in my Healthy to 100 book, and you can click on that in my library if you want to get the PDF, or you can purchase it for $15, okay? And that is a 600-page book that goes through everything you've ever wanted to know. All right, so you can either order it or go in my library, click on it, and you can go to the back and look at beautiful skin chapter, and then start doing skin brushing, start doing salt glows. They're amazing, okay? And believe it or not, with a skin condition, not long as it's not bleeding or scabbing, but it's, it's a skin condition, you should start clapping, right? So let me see here. And that's a clapper, and you can buy a clapper on my website, okay? So you want to get yourself a clapper. Clapping is the most amazing thing. Check out my library, in my library, and go to clapping, okay? Clapping for health, clapping for life. Go check that out. I've got a 2-hour video that talks about why clapping is so amazing, and it's inexpensive. I mean, you either can just use your hand, which will get tiring, or you can get yourself a clapper that I think is around $25, okay? Now, then you can go in there and start looking at how to clap over your whole body and start getting rid of physical blocks, not just skin conditions, okay? So that's the one thing you can do. Also, you can use what's called silver bullet gel, okay, is amazing for skin conditions. You can also use what's called structure moringa oil, and you can also use Beyond Beauty spray right on it to start drawing it out. Now, if it's more of a fungal skin problem, okay, or just kind of an infection skin problem without all the heavy scabbing, okay, then what you can do is you can actually take the silver bullet gel, and you can mix a few drops of tea tree oil in with that, and then rub that on, just a light layer, and then do it every half an hour. And guess what? I know you're not going to believe this, but how about this? 3 or 4 days, in most cases, it's gone. But you're still going to have to go into the gut, because the gut holds the key, because it's your bacteria, healthy bacteria, that are going to set you free from this, okay? Irma, I always have pain on my left shoulder blade and chest. Can I use the clapper for that? Absolutely. And guess what, Irma? Go into my library and click on clapping your lungs and heart for health. Do that protocol and get serious about it. And then give me a call if you want to talk to me about it. And if you bruise, okay, if you bruise in the area that you have pain in, guess what? You didn't bruise you. The bruise was in you. When you clap, you should never bruise. Healthy skin does not bruise. Healthy skin can get tender. I didn't say it couldn't get tender, but it doesn't bruise. It does not go light purple, dark purple, and black or brown or green, okay? And that's what tissue does. If you go and look at the clapping video, I'm going to teach you all about what bruising really is. And you know what's amazing, eh? Everything is butt backwards. It's butt backwards. You go to a doctor and go, hey, you know what? I was at home and I started clapping, and what happened was I started clapping and I got a bruise here. Oh my gosh, don't do that. Don't do that. If you do that, oh, I don't know what could happen. That's right. Because they don't know what health is. They know what drugs are. They know what surgery is. okay? But they don't know true health. I will debate with any doctor in the world, and I'm not talking about a blood disease. I'm talking about people that will do clapping and they will turn light purple, dark purple, black, green, or brown. That you shouldn't be turning any colors. You should only have red when you clap because that brings the blood to the surface. But guess what? It brings the blood to the surface, but what else would it bring to the surface? Contaminated blood and contaminated tissue is the issue, and it's going to come to the surface. So you want to keep clapping that. You want to keep working on that. You know, you can believe this or not, but I have done my homework, and I know health inside and out. And I know how to take any human being and totally empower them in how to create the perfect day from the minute they wake up until they go to bed to get rid of their own problems. Are you done relying on everybody? Do you want to rely on me forever? No, you don't. You don't want to keep giving me your money. You don't want to keep on. Remember something. As long as you're relying on someone to look after your body, then you are living in fear. Do you get this? Oh yeah, but everybody's doing it. I thought that's what we do. No, that's not what we do. You know what we do? We learn how to create the perfect day from the minute we wake up till we go to bed. And that's why we do consultations called The Perfect Day. If you go on my website, click on consultations. I'll give you a $150 consultation and then you never pay again to us. How's that? You'll get an hour audio from us the first time. And I go through every case history with the people that are my consultants, my master consultants. You need to get this. Look at, do you want a map? Do you want to map how to create the perfect day and then you want to repeat that every day? Is it worth $150? Do you think you're going to waste at least $150 when you're trying to do Band-Aid all the time? I'm just going to keep talking like this. You know why? Because there is no way around it. The system's broken because we won't give back the power to you. I'm not giving back your power. You want to come to me for treatments? Come for me treatments. You want to take my supplements I'll just give you more and more and more. And as you get sicker, I'll sell you more and more and more. And you'll get more frustrated. And then you'll believe that God created a dysfunctional product, which he didn't. Sandra, when clapping on the ankle area, do you clap right on your ankle bone? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. Okay? So everybody, you know what? We might be a little bit frustrated with Facebook and even YouTube and all these other channels. But look, say a little prayer tonight because if I get kicked off of Facebook, it's going to be hard for you to get all the training I'm going to do. And I'm going to tell you, this is what I'm doing. Okay, so we are going to be playing a revised clapping video for you. Right, Drake? When is it? Wednesday? Wednesday. And remember, I did a clapping video and it wasn't really that good. It didn't show you a lot. Well, this one's going to show you a lot more. So you can go on there and watch, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do, okay? I'm going to let the clapping video play on Wednesday. And then every day, almost every day, woo, Daryl, every day that I can, I mean, today was just like crazy here, but every day that I can, I will do a body part for you. Is that good? And then what we're going to do in the new year is we're going to shoot a more professional, like I'm going to take about a half an hour to 35 minutes for every body part, tell you what nutrition, what external therapies, and clapping. But what I'll do is I'll do it on Facebook and I'll do a piece of the body and I'll try to do it, every day I can or every other day and just keep watching for it, okay? Because this is amazing therapy, people. You want to get yourself a clapper, okay? Go into my library and watch my clapping videos. There's 3 of them, and you're going to be amazed, okay? Let me tell you something. You got the power. You take your power back. You stop giving your power to me. You stop giving your power to everybody. Stop giving your power to the government. Stop giving your power to health. Stop giving your wealth away. Stop giving everything away. Start thinking about how you can take your power back. Do you know why I'm so adamant about this? The more people that take their power back, the better my life is going to be. The more that people stand up for their God-given right to be here and to speak up, the better my life is going to be. When you've got the majority of the population going, what the hell can I do about this? Nothing. Or I don't even know what to do about this. It's not a good situation. Okay? It's, you know what? It's not a great situation to go around with your pants down, eh? Okay? When clamping on the ankle area, do you clap right on your ankle bone? Okay, so do you know, okay, so like if that was my foot, okay, so this would be where, okay, the ankle is. You see how it's moving? So what you would do is, yes, you would. You would clap right on the ankle. And then on the side where the ankle is, where the opening is of the ankle, you can actually use the side of the chipper and chip in there, okay? But you can, no, don't be afraid to just do it. Just clap, right? And you'll get the knack of it. You'll get the knack of clapping, and it will help. But the problem is when it gets calcified and crystallized, okay, because it does get calcified and crystallized in scar tissue, you want to get some Wolfe Non-Surgical. So I would really tell people that, you know, once you've done your homework and your research, look, go to my library. And if you go to my library, okay, you're going to see such a phenomenal video. We just put it up. And it's in the A to Z wellness guide. It's a 2-hour video. Go watch it about how emotional goes into scar tissue, the loss of calcium from the bones, the crystallization, and what happened. I do the whole domino effect, and I do it by a beautiful video. I mean, we put our heart into this one. So go check it out and then let me know what you think, will you? Okay. Let me see here. So yeah, go ahead and work on your ankle. You also want to use things like DMSO Gel. Okay. And DMSO Gel, there it is. Okay. And there's DMSO Rose Cream. But actually, the rose cream is more for like muscle tissue and things of that nature. The gel is for more like joint areas. And then you want to put DMSO gel on it 3 times a day if you've got an ankle problem. And you don't need a lot. Just a little dab will do ya. You know that commercial? Little dab will do ya. And then use Pain Away essential oil as often as you can. You could do that 12 or 20 times a day. And all of this is to help increase the circulation. It's all about circulation. It's all about microcirculation, actually. Okay? All right, let's move on. Can I take too much magnesium? Received your magnesium, and I'm taking 3 scoops twice a day, asking with the omega-3, but I'm still having anxiety. Okay, first of all, I would be doing 1 to 3 scoops, and you could do that 3 to 5 times a day. When you put our magnesium in your mouth, it's different than all the other magnesiums. It will fire up and heat up. It does taste a little bit metallic, but it will calm you down. You're just so deficient in magnesium, and you're overabundant in fearful programs. So understand something. There aren't adrenal problems. There are people that are whipping their adrenals and thyroid until there's nothing left. There isn't so much as hormonal problems. There is dysfunctional programs of fear. Go ahead. Get connected to your Lionheart breath. Calm yourself down. And then see if you can just watch yourself for 1 day. How many times you react or how calm you stay. And then when you do react, how long does it take you to get back into a peaceful, calm state? So understand something. You are the terrorist. We terrorize ourselves so bad. And we don't know it because this is how I've always been. This is the way my mother was. This is just who I am. Really? Wow. No, people are not their personalities. And if you think you're not going to change your personality, then you'll never change your reality. Because you understand something. Your real personality is where you fall deep in love with yourself and you care for yourself. And you know that the people that aren't deeply in love with themselves and care for themselves. And understand something. Don't even let me hear somebody, even on Facebook today, go, that is so selfish, Dr. Wolfe. Really? Really, is it? You know what? Do you want your children to love themselves 100% or 20% or 40% or 100%? I'll tell you something. Anytime that I was not in love with myself and hated myself, I'd probably want to kill myself. So depending on how much love you have or hate you have will depend on what your personality and your reality is going to look like. Don't you think? Don't you think? So I keep having this little squabble with people. This whole loving oneself, letting self off the hook. What, do you actually believe that if you let yourself off the hook, you'd be a danger to society, go around killing people? Really? Wow. You know, we just have everything so butt backwards, don't we? Okay. No, you can't take too much magnesium because when you put it in your mouth and you allow it to heat up, you absorb it, it's going into your system, it's being utilized that way. And trust me, I've got people that do our Mag Infusion. That's what it's called. It's called Mag Infusion, everyone. And I'll tell you right now, people that were suicidal, but just from doing the Mag Infusion and the Divine Vine, the belly button therapy and connecting to their Lionheart breath, okay? And even start wearing a Love Band, Life Band so that you can remind yourself that you're beautiful because you really need to. What else do you want to be to yourself? Doctor, what do you recommend for glaucoma? This is Irma. Irma, I would recommend that you take a look at the Silver Bullet Spray. The Bright Eyes Fulvic Eye Drops are the only ones who have fulvic in the world that you can put in your eyes. And the Silver Bullet Spray. And you should be wearing Tesla glasses. Okay, take a look on my website. If you are wearing Tesla glasses and not getting any more blue light from computers or from screens or phones or TVs or the dentist's office, the mall, or even your house, we're getting blue light poisoned. And understand, glaucoma, believe it or not, is mainly caused because of the blue light poisoning to the brain, okay? And because the brain is what sees, not the eyes, okay? And if you go and take a look at my library again, go look at 5G blue light toxicity. I've got all the documentation in there to prove it. So I would get a Bioptron. I think they're still on sale too. But I would get a Bioptron light. I'd get the Tesla glasses. I'd get the Silver Bullet Spray. And I'd get the Fulvic Eye Drops. Bright Eyes Eye Drops. Okay? And if I go too fast and you want to call in, you can call in 855-900-4544. And you can call and you can get your questions answered. If something more specific, call me. My extension is number 5. Lorette. What to do for traumatic brain injury? Okay, I'm going to tell you something, Lorette. Whether people believe this or not, you got to get the gut-brain connection reconnected. But the reality is I'd have to know more about this. You know, we have had people that have had a brain injury from a concussion and gone in there with Wolfe Non-Surgical and worked in here. And because there was so much scar tissue in the occipital area was completely frozen. You know, the atlas and the axis were frozen. And there was scar tissue in here, and it was cutting off the brainstem from getting the proper fluid. That's right. And we see a major difference. But if you've got, I would get a consult, okay, from one of my from one of my consultants. But I'll tell you right now, okay, our Doc of Detox, calcium ion therapy, go into my library, click into the calcium ion guide, is amazing for that. The other thing is, does this person drink structured water and do they drink enough water? Are they on a whole plant-based diet? Are they doing enough essential fatty acids? And I'm not talking about fatty acids from fish because nobody can digest them well. Okay? All right? We have what's called ocean essentials. And they're the most absorbable essential fatty acids you can take. So remember what the brain loves. It loves that. It loves to get rid of the displaced calcium from any type of injury. There's going to be scar tissue in there. So if this person is not on a whole plant-based diet, totally non-inflammatory diet, and even let's see what condition they're in. Maybe they should do a 6-day advanced water fasting challenge. But if their gut, okay, otherwise their large intestine is not moving properly and they're not doing at least 2 or 3 great bowel movements a day, which most people with traumatic brain injuries, it's a disconnection. They're constipated, and even worse than that. And we got to get that moving again. Tanya, my 10-year-old son gets terrible stomach aches. No, he doesn't. Most cases, it's not going to be a stomach for a child unless the child is eating tons of sugar, okay, or fried foods. And it's not his stomach. Ask him where the problem is, and I guarantee it's in his large intestine, and your child is actually constipated. Okay, let's find out if I'm right. His sides are getting bigger now, and I think it's swollen, but the doctor says it's fine. He cries in pain some nights and breaks my heart. Oh, let me tell you something right now. The daily cleansing tea, the tummy love, and black gold in fruit smoothies, it's over. And I will tell you, I will give you a guarantee, Tanya, that your 10-year-old is constipated. Is he eating cheese? Is he eating bread? Is he eating meats? If he's a blood type A, then guess what? Then he needs a whole plant-based diet. I'm blood type A. And a lot of blood type A's are going to have this problem. Right? And how's things going in the family? Because when children have stomach pain as well, their stomach is tied in knots because mommy and daddy might not be getting along. Or maybe daddy is sick, or maybe mommy's sick, or there could be financial stress. Understand, kids don't want to bother their parents. Trust me, I didn't want to. I had bleeding colitis when I was only about 14, 15 years old. I didn't want to say anything. I can remember when I was about 12 years old, I buckled in gas pain, and it was poop. It's all about the poop. Let me tell you something. When you deal with young kids like this, get the cork out, and they're back to smiling, okay? Go take a look at the Perfect Day Diet, my Perfect Day Guide, and get on the daily cleansing tea. It's not a laxative. It's not a stimulant. You could have your children take it morning and night for the rest of their life, and it's only going to gently clean all the organs in the body. I mean, you've never seen anything better for weight loss and for relieving pain. And understand, 85% of your immune system is based on your large intestine. You know, I don't know how to tell people this. They just don't get it. And that's because, guess what? Even natural health doesn't spend really good attention when it comes to large intestine. Oh yeah, I do a cleanse every 6 months, every 9 months when I feel like crap. Well, why would you let yourself feel like crap? Who does that? Well, you know, we learned that from the medical system, and, you know. So when you feel like you're in an emergency, you take control. But until you feel like an emergency, or you feel sick, or you're dying, then you just don't think about your body. Wow. We've been raised not good. Yeah. Try that. But understand something. I guarantee you that his diet needs to be looked at. Donna, I had my thyroid totally removed 40 years ago. I have to take levothyroxine for the rest of my life, so my metabolism is low. I can't lose weight. I've tried everything out there. Can you help me? Okay, Donna. Get a consultation, all right? Listen, everybody's metabolism slows down. Everybody, you know, when you hit 30, it's a little bump. When you hit 40, it's a bigger bump. When you hit 50, whoa, starting to slide. Well, because guess what? You haven't been getting rid of your bad habits quick enough. And you haven't introduced a high vibrational lifestyle. Well, what does that mean, Daryl? Well, whole plant-based foods, high vibrational supplementation, not just regular supplements, and getting the cork out. You got to get your bowels moving. I'm going to keep telling you this over and over again. Get on the daily cleansing tea, tummy love, and black gold, and then start drinking structured water. Get a structured water unit, because I don't care if the water's Kangen or if it's filtered water or reverse osmosis or distilled. Nothing beats a structure unit. So you can run any water through here you want, but it reduces the water retention down more than anything else. Structured water has 1,000% better hydration than almost all other water. So what do you think that's going to do for cleansing, for getting nutrition in, for helping you to lose weight? You know, I just love this. Stop counting calories, okay, and eat as much as you want of whole plant-based food, okay? Get the cork out, get on the daily cleansing tea, tummy love, black gold, Okay, take a look at Sononian minerals because that is the most powerful one a day that you could ever take. I've got 147 different nutrients in there just to cover your, you know what. And then get on and take a look at also curcumin cayenne 5000 and take that with meals to up your metabolism and bring your inflammation down. That's where I would start. I would also look at doing a coffee enema. There's our coffee, Doc of Detox for coffee enema. And then here's the stainless steel bucket. Understand? You want, okay, I'll tell you something right now, Donna. After you're done with everybody else, you give me a call and then we'll do a consultation on you. And then in 3 to 6 months, we're going to have you down to the weight you've always wanted to be. How's that? Is that a deal? And if not, we'll give you $150 back. Because that's it right there. See, what people want is the quick fix, okay? The quick fix. Understand, why does Weight Watchers not work? Because you can't watch your weight. Do not watch your weight. It's not weight. It's inflammation. It's infection. It's scar tissue formation. It's displaced calcium and crystallization. Every physical block you have in your body slows your circulation down. I guarantee you're as stiff as a board in different places in your body. And anybody that says they can't lose weight has 10 to 15 blocks in their body, whether it's in their ankle, whether it's in their knee, whether their small intestine is twisted and got scar tissue in it, or the large intestine won't let you poop right, okay? Or the spine, okay, has now scar tissue wrapped around it. Do you understand? It's all about circulation no matter where you go. The rules are all the same. So understand, there are a gazillion different symptoms, a gazillion different diseases, and there's more diseases coming because the environment is changing, and every time they put a new poison in the environment, there's a new disease. Oh my God, this is such a scam job. Okay, I don't care who the person is. I don't care who you are. I don't care what condition you have. We can improve it, and you can turn it around. Very rare will you ever see a person that cannot turn around. I don't care if you tell me that it's genetic, because that's a lie too. Because if I have to hear genetic one more time, I think I'm going to throw up. Because they already proved that it's not genetic, it's epigenetic. They did what was called the Genome Project. And guess what they found in the Genome Project? You know what they found out? That it's not genetic. That diseases aren't genetic. My mother had this, that's right. And you focused on it long enough and strong enough. We are created by God. We have an imagination, and whatever you imagine the most, you're going to have. I imagined that I'm never going to be sick. Okay, I had a bit of a cold the other day, but I'm not going to have a disease. I'm never going to have a disease. I actually love and care for myself enough that that can't happen. Okay, I don't leave somebody else responsible for my day when I'm the guy with me all day long. How can I make somebody else responsible for that? Everything is just so cuckoo out there. You got set up. There's a genius in you. There's a practitioner in you. You got this. You got set up. That's all. It's not a big deal. You can turn this around. Angela, is there anything good for cystic fibrosis? Oh my gosh, yeah. So understand, there you go. So cystic fibrosis is where you're building up tons of scar tissue, okay? Usually you're in the lung area, doesn't have to be there, but in the lung area, and you get cysts. Okay, so scar tissue is caused because of inflammation, Daryl. Really? Yeah, and inflammation is caused because of infection. Wow. So that would be an irritation causing the inflammation. And the cyst part is a what? A cyst is a little storage shed for pus. Well, wherever there's infection, okay, all right, we're going to have cysts because we need to store the infection because that bad bacteria, the viruses, and even the funguses are going to get stored in the cyst, the pus. You know what? When you no longer need to have cysts and when you no longer need to have scar tissue, you won't have the inflammation, the infection coming into your body. I mean, I don't care. You go to any doctor you want. Go to all the medical doctors, the greatest scientists. Oh my God, I've seen the best specialists in the hospital. Oh, really? Do they know about health? Do they know about diet? Do they know about cleansing? No. They know about the disease, and if they don't have a drug for it or surgery, you're not getting anything. The reality is if I had cystic fibrosis, I would be doing clapping. I would make sure my bowels were cleansed because your bowels really affect your your lungs. Understand, we fill from the bottom up with poisons. So let's get the cork out, just like the bathtub. Take the cork out, take the plug out, watch it start to drain from the lungs down. Okay, then get somebody with Wolfe Non-Surgical to come in here, and it's an elbow technique, and open up every rib, get rid of the scar tissue because there's a ton of it in here. Okay, and then guess what? Just with that alone, I guarantee you that if I were to do Wolfe Non-Surgical, I'll do it online, live for everyone. That's if we're still on Facebook. By tomorrow. And what we'll do is I will increase the breathing by 30 to 40% in one 40-minute treatment. I don't care what your problem is, okay? We will work on you with Wolfe Non-Surgical. Go check out our technique. I mean, there's enough videos to see it. Or go look at the testimonials from people all over the world. And you'll see that it's a scar tissue, displaced calcium crystallization issue that's really causing your cystic fibrosis. But we've got to get into the large intestine and get the cork out. Be great if you would embrace coffee enemas. Don't you think it'd be great if we cleaned out the filter, that liver organ? It cleans the blood. What if it could clean the blood 20 times better? What if your large intestine had no stagnated waste and the bacteria became stronger? What do you think would happen to your lungs? You know what? It's teamwork that makes the dream work. And then I would get you to do the clapping. That's right. I would. I'd get you to do clapping. I'd get you to do the whole, go take a look at clapping for health guide, and go in there and watch the video, watch the preparation video, and then go watch clapping your heart and lungs for health. Go ahead. Stress out. See if you can find a specialist that's going to have a miracle pill, a miracle answer. It's not going to happen. You know, even when they say there's no cure for this, yeah, you are the cure. Self-love, self-care is the cure. You know, when somebody says to you, there's nothing we can do to help you, you have to live with this. BS. That's a dysfunctional belief system. It's not true. It's not true. You do not have to live in that kind of suffering. Even if we weren't able to turn around the problem completely, because I don't believe in cures. There's no such thing, because a cure is something you do daily. If you had a perfect day and you were loving yourself, caring for yourself each day with beautiful, loving steps throughout the day, that's the only cure. There is no other cure. Oh, well, I got cured of gallbladder attacks. They took my gallbladder. Yeah, great. Now you got a 400% increase in chance of getting bowel cancer. How cool is that? Well, the doctor said it has no use. Oh, really? God is that stupid? Seriously. All right. So let's take a look and see what questions we have from last week. So if you have more questions, send them in. I'll go back to the live questions. Let me see here. Just so everybody knows, I'll say this quick before we start the other ones. Upcoming courses in Kelowna. We have a whole life coach from March the 13th to the 20th, and then a Wolfe Non-Surgical from March 22nd to April 22nd, and that's already half booked, everyone. So just letting you know. And then I think we have another one in May. So you can call into the office if you want to ask questions about that. Paulina, my son, since he was 12 years old, always wakes up throughout the night, either for feeding or comfort. He is now 3 and keeps waking up every 2 to 3 hours every night for us to sit with him until he falls asleep again. We have taken out the feeding. I'm not getting enough rest and need help with suggestions. Okay. And he is 3. Well, I don't know. You know, I think maybe I don't want to use the word spoil, because it's not that you spoiled him, you loved him, but I think you created a problem. You know, understand something, whether you believe this or not. Parents create their child's personality. I won't say 100%, but in a lot of ways, you know. Get a fearful mother and father, and that child will have fear. Get a brave heart mother and father, and you'll have a brave heart. So you need to start talking about how brave your child is, even at 3, how brave he is, how such a brave heart warrior. What a brave little man you are. Okay, start leaving a light on, just a night light. Okay, and then have it that you can dim a little bit less and less and less, and eventually the light won't be there anymore. Talk about and do things to get his confidence levels up. That's really the deal. And the reality is too, how are you feeding him? If he's on sugar, if he's on flour, okay, and if you're still feeding him, I think you were breastfeeding still at 3. Okay, for feeding throughout the night. So he's 3 years old, you're still breastfeeding. Well, that's a personal decision if you want to be breastfeeding him. I'm not sure what benefit that is really. I don't believe that's a benefit. I think he should be just eating really good foods for himself right now. So understand something. You know what? We all want to feel loved, right? Okay, we all want to feel loved. And who wouldn't want to breastfeed with their mother forever? Seriously. I mean, it's something that we have to break away from. But the reality is you got him into a program. So now you're going to have to wean him out of that program. Okay, so you're going to have to make sure that he's satisfied, right? And make sure that when he is satisfied, you're not giving him dairy, like milk products. Make sure you're giving him things like almond milk, oat milk, coconut milk, things of that nature. Give him warm milk at night and just make it coconut milk and make it warm milk at night to soothe him. That would help. What other things could you do? Well, just make sure no more sugar, no more flour. Okay, make sure that he's eating well. You could also you can give him some magnesium, and that'll help him sleep. So put some magnesium, just a little scoop of Mag Infusion in his warm oat milk. I'm telling you, it works. Take Mag Infusion. I'll show it to you. I don't mind showing people products here and there, but I don't want to show you all my products because then it becomes an infomercial. Okay? So that's called Mag Infusion. It's amazing. So take like 1 scoop, okay? Put that in the oat milk and try it out. Maybe then you might want to put 2 scoops. It's very small. And then maybe just about 1 or 2 scoops will do it. And then what you could put is just a little bit of honey in the oat milk. He'll never taste it. There, I just gave you the secret. And I want you to call me too. And because I want you to work with me with this, because I guarantee you that the warm oat milk with 1 or 2 scoops of the Mag Infusion, and then just a little bit of honey sweetener so he doesn't taste the Mag Infusion, because it has a little bit of a metallic taste. But as an adult, if you take and put like up to 3 scoops in and mix it with your saliva, or put it under your tongue, mix it with your saliva and let it really soak in, I'm telling you, it just goes, wow, I feel so peaceful, calm. And you should see how many people haven't been able to sleep at night. And understand something. We are low on magnesium because we terrorize ourselves. And the problem is we're not stiff because of lack of magnesium in our body. We're stiff because we're drawing calcium out of our bones. That's why osteoporosis is so bad. That's why osteoarthritis is so bad. That's why so many people have gallstones. So many people have kidney stones. So many women have calcium stones in their breast. And that's because their breasts are so on fire. And then depending on what breast, depends on the emotional reason why you're on fire. I won't get into that right now, but I am writing a whole book on that, on how emotions establish their point of entry in the body, and they're stored to the same type of vibrational tissue. So if it's a really sick thought, meaning highly inflammatory, it's going to go to sick tissue. All right? Good. Giacomina, my Giacomina. My apologies. How to eliminate ropeworm. parasite that spends its entire life inside of the body. No, it doesn't. And if you want to call me, I'll tell you how to get rid of it. You got to use daily cleansing tea, diatomaceous earth. Okay, that would be really helpful. Also, black gold is really helpful. And then you need to actually do coffee enemas. The more you bring up the vibration, so that means a whole plant-based diet. That means high vibrational nutrition. If you want, you can give me a call at extension 5 tomorrow. And if you are from overseas, you can call me at 250-801-0133 on WhatsApp. And if you have an iPhone, you can FaceTime me. I'm okay with that too. Okay? Now, there is another trick about getting rid of this worm, this rope worm, but you got to call me for that, okay? And I'll tell you. Carol, share the secret for parasites. Well, the secret, I think I just did. Oh, the secret for parasites. Oh, I can't. I can't do that. You have to call me if you want to know it, Carol. Linda, what do we do for the sciatic nerve? Okay, first of all. Okay. All right. Let me think here. Okay, so what I'm going to do, how about this? Tomorrow I'll get somebody to go on the massage table, and I'll show you why people have sciatic nerve problems, okay? But again, we're back to the crystallization and scar tissue. So let's go down to our low back. Do you ever see people who have they have like dimples on their low back, okay? Well, that's called the SI joint. And some people, this looks like a bone sticking out on either side of the spine, just on the lower part of the back in the lumbar area. And it's, okay, so here's the spine, and then it's about 2 inches, just 2 inches out from the spine. You'll find these are called SI joints. Well, the SI joints are like a bolt, and let's picture that bolt getting all rusted, okay? So now, when you walk, you're supposed to walk like this. I'm exaggerating a little bit. So do you ever see women mainly, men too, but they waddle. They go like this. They walk like this. That's because they don't have that motion anymore. So what we would do is go in here with Wolfe Non-Surgical, and I'm telling you right now, if you told me you had sciatic problem, well, I already did it. A family just came here for a personal treatment and training. Okay, so he had sciatic problems so bad he couldn't put his heel down. All right? I know you're not going to believe this, but it's okay. It's just that we only believe what we believe everybody else believes. So anyways, it took me 15 minutes for him to put his heel down and not have any pain in his leg. So what I did was, it was on his right side. I went in and I did the elbow Wolfe Non-Surgical technique. And I went in and I pulled the scar tissue apart and the displaced calcium and the crystallization. So this was, you couldn't even feel the SI joint. And when I got done, you could feel it. It was all cleaned up. Then I went in and then the nerve goes down under the hip, okay? And then it comes out the bottom of your butt, okay? It does. It comes down there. And so then what I did was I worked in the fossa of the hip. It's like, and I went in and I cleaned that out. Then I went at the bottom of the hip. You'll see where the bottom of your cheek, that's where the nerve, sciatic nerve comes out. But here's the problem. It gets scar tissue there too. So the nerve, let's say this is the the sheath. There's a sheath, and the nerve has to move like this, right? Because when you extend your leg, the nerve goes down, and this is how it moves. It does. It stretches. But what if there's a knot right here of scar tissue, okay? Well, then now the nerve can't move, so now you can't put your heel flat on the ground. It's as simple as that, okay? So 15, 20 minutes. And then the other thing is what we're going to get him to do is we're going to get him to clap it. We got him using some DMSO now, gel, and we got him using Pain Away essential oil. And he's doing the DMSO 3 times a day on the SI joints and then underneath where I loosened it up, okay? Anyways, it's all a scar tissue issue, displaced calcium, crystallization, and you know what? You can go to the chiropractor. He'll adjust you 1,000,000 times. Okay, you can go to physio and they'll try to stretch it. Oh my gosh. None of that's going to work. You know why you never get better? You know why you have to go from treatment to treatment? Because you don't get trained on how to look after yourself, and it's a scar tissue issue. I mean, even if somebody aligns your spine and pushes it back into place, it's just going to pop out again because what happens is through scar tissue, your tendons and ligaments, they get a little bit shorter, and it causes your vertebrae to pop out a little bit out of alignment. So as soon as you go in and get rid of the scar tissue in the spine and you get rid of the crystallization and the calcification, did you know when we do a spine, it takes us an hour and a half because you do every vertebrae. You go in between the spinous process, and you also work on the discs. You know, the discs that they say are no longer there or they thin out. They don't thin out. The same fibers are there. It's just that it's dehydrated and it flattens out. When we work on someone, the shortest that we would, well, let me put it this way. If I work on someone's spine, we will make them 1 to 2.5 inches taller. Did you get what I just said? So I will willing to do this on Facebook anytime, put somebody up and measure them on the wall, and then we'll go in and we'll work on their spine. You know, somebody says, "Oh, I've lost height, I've lost calcium." Would your brain shrink or what? Is it shrinking down? No. You know, everything out there is like I told you, butt backwards, okay? So when you go in there and you work on these, not your vertebrae, but the discs in between the vertebrae, they actually go from thin as paper back up to like this, about 1/8 of an inch. So now take that with every vertebrae, and that's why you've got 1 to 2.5 inches taller now. Wow, I shrunk in height. No, you didn't. Your pads did, and we can make those come back. So even that in the low back, because if you take a look with people, you'll find out it's the low back that gets operated more than anything else. Now, why is that? Let me think here. Oh, well, that's because the large intestine sits right in front of it, and you're pooping into your pelvis. So you poop into your pelvis. That's why you get hip replacements. That's why you get knee replacements. It's true. I mean, how many people have never damaged their knee, or they damaged their knee 20 years ago, but the knee still, they say, "Oh, well, you're bone on bone," which you're not bone on bone. It's actually the calcium has actually calcified the cartilage and the tissue, and we can bring that back. But a lot of people, they're just so programmed for surgery, they'll just say, "No, I'd rather go for the surgery. I don't want to have to do any extra work." Well, yeah, well, guess what? Now you've got a foreign object in you, and that foreign object is toxic. And even though it might be in your knee, it could cause brain problems, and I didn't make that one up, okay? So anyways, I'm a little off the track, but sciatic nerve, there you go. And to try to treat it yourself, not so easy. Bon, how do you fix scar tissue from a C-section scar? Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. All right? I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Everything's going to work out, and we'll still be on Facebook tomorrow probably. No, we'll just say for sure. And if I am, tomorrow what I'll do is I'll show you how to work on... I'll actually get someone, and we'll show you on Facebook their abdomen. And I'll also show you how I'd work on a sciatic problem. Okay? There you go. But understand, when somebody has a C-section, all right, they're either cut from here all the way down to the belly button, or they're cut across from hip to hip, right? So, you know what? It's not the scar you see. It's how deep it is. Whether you believe this or not, but a cesarean will cause more scar tissue than anything else on this planet. Now, it actually will grow roots and wrap around your small intestine that you can't digest properly. Wrap around, ready for this? It'll wrap around your large intestine. You can't poop right. It'll wrap around your bladder. It'll wrap around your ovaries. It'll go even down in around your uterus. Oh, yeah, I'm not kidding. So, I mean, lovemaking becomes a problem. Pooping is a problem. Peeing is a problem. Moving is painful, okay? Oh, my God, I'm always bloated. I can't digest. Well, let me tell you. One time, I don't care if they cut you open 3 times on the same area for 3 babies, guess what? All that scar tissue, you let us work on you 1 hour on that scar, and that scar is going to go from a disgusting color to a nice pink color. You're going to see. If it doesn't go all the way back, it will. We'll teach your husband how to do it for you, because that's what we do with our personal treatment and trainings. But you got to understand, that cesarean, it's got 2 and 3 inch roots on it. I'm not kidding. And you know what you got to do? You got to take those legs apart. You take those legs apart, and guess what? Now you're not being pulled, and you're not being choked. And that's the same thing with a fibroid or even a tumor. Even with a tumor, okay? I have a lady that's coming. Her name is Sonia. She might be watching right now. And she's coming to take my course. Okay? And she said, you know what, Dr. Wolfe, even though I haven't taken your course yet, you know, when you showed me how to do it, I actually went in and worked on a patient. I could actually feel the legs of the tumor coming off. And I actually got in there, and with your Wolfe Non-Surgical, I was able to take those legs of the tumor apart. And my patient feels amazing now. I said, yeah, because you got rid of the feeders. Those legs coming off the tumor were feeding the tumor. Now we've just crippled that. Okay? Ryan, I heard before, if you have hypothyroidism with Hashimoto's, okay, to avoid the extra iodine, can you confirm? What do you mean the extra iodine? I really don't understand. You know, if you can do like Iderol, it's a time release, but we have an iodine called infinite iodine that's nano, and it will never ever be too much iodine for you. It goes into the body. Our infinite iodine is 10,000 times smaller in molecular size than any iodine in the world. So, and it's all vegetable anyways. So that's not true. They're talking about like Lugos iodine or those other iodines out there. The difference between infinite iodine or even some people like the Iderol because it's a time release throughout the day. Holly, Dr. Darrell, this is a mess. Polycystic ovary syndrome. You are absolutely right. We've kind of already touched on that today, though. Okay? No, you haven't tried everything, sweetheart. Holly, I'm going to tell you something. Give me a call tomorrow if you want. Let me find out where you live. And let me prove to you that that's not true. Now, first of all, to polycystic ovary syndrome, oh my God, do you know what syndrome means? It's been going on for a long time. That's all that means, syndrome. And polycystic means she has many cysts on her ovaries and around her ovaries. Well, you can't have cysts unless you have pus. You can't have pus unless you have inflammation and infection. And you can't have that if your bowel was working properly. Did you get what I just said? But now you had a leaky bowel for years. You know you've had bowel problems since you were a little girl, and you've been pooping into your pelvis. Well, if you're going to poop into your pelvis, then you've got to have cysts so you can store all those poop particles. Those poop particles cause infection. They cause pus. They cause bad bacteria. And so we need these storage sheds until that large intestine is working properly. And here's the problem. You're only going to get more cysts now because with polycystic ovary syndrome, cystic, you're going to have scar tissue. So the scar tissue is like a web down there, and it's stopping the circulation and the movement. So if the circulation, okay, if I have a river and I cut the river off here and here, so now there's no circulation, it now becomes a what? A swamp, a cesspool. And that means bugs are going to grow there. What came first, the swamp or the mosquito? The swamp, then the mosquito. So your mosquito is the polycystic ovaries due to the swamp that you've created. Not intentionally. It's not your fault. But the reality is, okay, are you overweight by 20 or 50 pounds? Okay? And if you're not overweight, then we know that we've got really bad bowel dysfunction and you've been constipated severely for a long time, absorbing your own waste. Look at either that or you're cursed by God. And I don't think you've been cursed by God, have you? So understand something. It's all just logic. That's why nobody wants to challenge me. No doctors will challenge me. It's too logical. Where do you think the infection came from? Well, why don't we be detectives and find it? We don't, because we leave it up to everyone else. So you've got now polycystic ovary syndrome. You've been everywhere that doesn't work. I get it. But did they offer you a money-back guarantee? I will. Teddy, what do you... And I don't do this because I need more work. I do this because you work. Because you are not broken. The system's broken. Teddy, what do you recommend for low energy? I have no energy. Well, Teddy, you probably don't drink enough water. It's not structured water. And Teddy, you need to drink a gallon a day. So Teddy, start off with with 1 quart of hot structured water first thing in the morning, nothing else. That's the first thing. Then try to take warm water as much as possible, or even hot water. Anybody that doesn't have energy, anybody that has bad circulation, anybody that needs to detoxify should drink as much hot water as possible. Do a quart first thing in the morning, everybody, anybody. Do a quart of structured hot water in the morning, and you're going to come up and you're going to say, you're going to call me, and please call me. Don't just call me when you're in trouble, but call me and say, oh my gosh, and you will, Dr. Wolfe, this was bloody well amazing. Bloody well amazing. So, and then try to see if you can help yourself from eating until 11 or 12 o'clock. But see if you can do 2 quarts of liquid up until then. See if you can get yourself on daily cleansing tea, tummy love, and black gold, okay? And when you do break it at 11 o'clock, why don't you go into My Perfect Day and break it with a blender drink, a beautiful organic berries and some almond milk. And if you're the type of guy who just has to have protein, then let's crack in 1 or 2 organic eggs. And please don't come on to me about salmonella, because it's not true. Okay, so it's not true. Okay, so if it's a free range organic egg, you never have to worry. I have people doing thousands of eggs because they're used to eating animal products, and we get them off the animal products, and then they need their organic egg to feel that, right? So let's just throw maybe 1 or 2 organic eggs in there with a cup of organic berries and some almond milk and some level tablespoon of black gold. And then let's blend that up and let's drink that, okay? And then let's do a large salad for lunch and maybe a large salad at supper. The large salad at lunch, maybe we'll put some avocado in there, okay? Maybe sprinkle some chia seeds on there with a whole bunch of sprouts. And then tonight, maybe we'll have a salad with maybe, if you really want, some black beans on it or chickpeas on it. Let's see what happens to you, Teddy. After 6 weeks of doing this, you're going to thin down. You're going to have tons of energy. Just start there. But get your bowels moving, Teddy, because anybody's got low energy. When you've got low energy, you don't poop right. You don't think right. Okay? Tracy, what to do for gout? Well, understand, first thing is gout, okay, is uric acid crystals. Now, uric acid crystals can be caused because of mainly like organ meats from animals or just meat, okay? Even fish. You know, you got to back off on that stuff, okay? Also, flour products, okay? So, ice cream, beer, there's a whole bunch of different things. But gout is the crystallization of uric acid crystals. And what happens is they're like little shards of glass in your toe. So just think about it. You go to move your toe, and the glass moves and pushes on the nerve. So what are you going to do about it? Well, first of all, let's get rid of our bad habits, because nobody has gout without bad habits. Next thing is, what you can do is you can use DMSO gel that I showed earlier, okay? And you can also use peppermint to override the pain, or use pain away. And you'll use the DMSO, okay? Use the DMSO not right on the gout area, but like just wherever the pain is, just come before it or after it and increase the circulation. So that'll bring more blood in. Because if the gout's really bad, the DMSO might heighten the pain. It shouldn't. Try just a little tab, like just a little dab, and then rub it on the gout area just to do a test. And then try to use pain away essential oil after that and see how it makes you feel. And if not, use the peppermint, because it'll override the pain. But understand something. Again, we're back to the same old thing again. It's crystallization. You've got to get into drinking structured water, and lots of it. Drink lots of hot water. Start flushing the toxins out. Daily cleansing tea, tummy love, black gold. Get on the perfect day diet, which means whole plant-based foods. Or fast. The fastest way to get there is to do an advanced water fast. Go take a look at my 6-day advanced water fasting guide in my library. I don't want to go into it all now. You're only going to use ATP, fulvic acid, SAC calcium if it's affordable, Ormus minerals, and you're going to make sure that you do a level teaspoon to a level tablespoon of sea salt in a quart of hot water first thing in the morning to flush your bowels out, and also get yourself on the daily cleansing tea. And if you can wrap your head around, Teddy, around doing the ultimate coffee enema, and you flush that liver, because that's a big reason why you got the gout, dude. You went and clogged the filter up. Let me tell you something. We'll change the filter in the car, but we won't change the filter in our body, will we? And people will say, well, I'm taking this formula for the liver. No, nothing works better than a proper ultimate coffee enema, it's called. You can take a look at how to do that in my Perfect Day Guide or in my 6-day advanced water fasting challenge. Now, once the gout is gone, Teddy, I want you to do something. I want you to clap your toe. Once it's gone, start clapping your toe to break up that crystallization and to bring the heat in there and bring the blood in to warm those little icebergs, okay? So I would really take a look at that if I were you, okay? And remember something, everybody. You can always pay $150, get a consultation, and we'll blow your mind. Yes, we will. We'll create the perfect day from the minute you get up until you go to bed. You're going to go, oh my gosh, I didn't know I was doing that. I didn't know that was good for me. I didn't know I shouldn't be doing this. That's how it goes, right? Tracy, what to do for, okay, got that. Okay, that was Tracy's question, what to do for gout. Gracie, thoughts on rectal ozone? You know what? I think rectal ozone is good. You know, just make sure that what I would do is make sure that I'm doing the daily cleansing tea and doing 2 to 3 good bowel movements a day, because if your bowels are sluggish and you're doing ozone, then you're going to blow up. You're going to have tons of gas, tons of cramping. So make sure you're doing the daily cleansing tea, okay? Thank you. Nina, what do you have to do to grow the cartilage back? Well, it's all about circulation, isn't it? Okay? It's all about circulation. And I would see a Wolfe Non-Surgical therapist so that you can, and I would get on SAC calcium, Merigen if I could afford it, to bring back the calcium back into the bone, because wherever the cartilage is gone, it's not gone. Did you get that? If I have, every day I get this bone on bone story. Everybody's bone on bone. They're not bone on bone. You pulled the calcium from the knee, from the hip, from the ankle, from the spine, and it actually cemented the cartilage. It's still there. And once we get the circulation back, the cartilage will grow back. The cartilage will grow back. Use SAC calcium, use curcumin cayenne 5000, use DMSO gel, use pain away essential oil, but it all depends on where it is. So Nina, if you want to call me and just talk to me for a few minutes, I'll guide you, or you can call and get a consult, but I leave that up to you. But the reality is, it's all about circulation, and it's all about microcirculation. Did you know that it's not about genetics, how long you live and what you diet for? Did you know that? That's already proven. It's not telomeres, it's microcirculation. So wherever your microcirculation is the most messed up, that's what's going to put you into the nursing home or the 6-foot rule. Okay? All right. Catherine. Oh, the other thing is honestly, Nina, if I could go in and do Wolfe Non-Surgical on you for 20 minutes, I could prove the cartilage wasn't gone. Okay? Because the only reason why everybody, as soon as you have pain in here, in a joint, you know what a doctor says? Cartilage, bone on bone, we saw it. It's not bone on bone. We have not had anybody go to surgery that has come to us in years. I don't want to say how long, because I don't know. It's been a few years. Catherine, do you know anything about adhesive arachnoid? Oh my gosh. This is too long, everyone. Nope, don't know. So anyways, at the end of it, it's cysts. Okay, bear with me, everyone. So get this. I want to just say this. This is what happens all the time. And I do mean this. That whoever discovers the actual problem gets to have their name be part of it. Okay. This person has adhesive, arachnoiditis. Okay, we're not done yet. EHLERS, now new word, DANLOS syndrome, and Tavlor cysts. Okay. So we know it's inflammation, and we know it's cysts. Catherine, give me a call. My extension's number 5, and I will help you out. Understand something. What did I say earlier? So do you know why? See how I didn't pretend here? Because guess what? I don't need to know this. Every day there's a new drug. Every day there's a new condition. But understand something. They're all the same conditions. It's just a different place in the body. It's the same condition, isn't it? Isn't it? It's going to be scar tissue, crystallization, displaced calcium. And it's got it because of some type of infection and inflammation. Am I right or wrong? Okay. Where are these names? Okay, this woman's name is Agnieszka. What can be done with scar tissue in urethra in a man's case after surgery? Well, what we need to do is get that person on an advanced water fast, because we know that eats up scar tissue. Put them on an advanced water fast. The products I said, remember? ATP plus, SAC calcium, fulvic acid, okay, Ormus minerals, and then structured water. And then guess what you do? You put this person on FiberClear, which is a systemic enzyme that eats scar tissue, and you put them on anywhere from 5 to 10 a day. Start off with 5 times a day, and see what happens. It goes into the system, and because there's no food, the enzymes eat up the scar tissue. And I know I'm right. And the other thing is guess what? You do clapping. The other thing is you make sure that you do coffee enemas to make sure that you bring the toxicity down in the liver. That's what I would do if I had that problem. Vivian, I have a friend who has chronic 24/7 headaches. Well, yeah, take a look at her diet. Take a look at the water, how much she's not drinking water. It's not structured water. Get her on the Infusion and start having her put 1 to 3 scoops in her mouth, and do that anywhere from 3 to 5 times a day. Just start off with 1 scoop or 2 scoops and do it maybe 3 times a day, and then have her call me. But the reality is she's got to get her bowels moving. Anybody's got headaches 24/7, their bowels aren't moving, they're dehydrated, they've got a lousy diet, okay? And they're all jammed up jelly tight. And right up here in the occipital groove, we'd have to go in here with Wolfe Non-Surgical and just take apart all that scar tissue and crystallization and displaced calcium in here, because it's all about blood flow. Now, if she has an iPhone, have Vivian call me, and she can call me on there, or she can call my the 800 number and extension 5, and I'll do a quick little Skype with her, okay? And I promise you, anybody can turn around. Okay, so let me tell you something, and you may not believe this, but there are people every day that if they didn't have pain and suffering, they wouldn't have a life. They wouldn't think they were alive. There's a lot of people out there that don't know how to get love, but that when they are in pain, they get the attention they need. And I'm not telling you everyone. I'm trying to tell you that people are beautiful, but their belief systems aren't. And it's your belief systems that run you. And understand something. Everybody has whatever they have, chronic illness, because of belief systems. Yeah. Now, I know we got to work on the physical, but we got to work on the emotional, because even if we get rid of the physical, we got to get rid of the belief that actually caused it in the first place. Okay? Tracy, what are symptoms of 5G and what is the necklace? Well, here it is. This here is called a bodyguard. These are bodyguards too. They come in all colors. You can go to 5G/energy. And if you go to shop.docofdetox.com, and you can go and you can take a look. And that's what they are. These are based on radionics, and they will protect you against 5G. They truly will. And I also have, let me see if I have them up here. Nope. I also have what's called a protector for the home and a defender for large buildings. And I also have what's called a guardian for your actual garden, right? To help things grow better. Okay. What are the symptoms of 5G? Wow. Tiredness, headaches, dizzy, poor digestion, brain fog. It can go on and on and on and on. Oh, lack of oxygen, breathing problems, can't sleep, can't heal. And that's what happens to a lot of cancer patients. They don't turn their Wi-Fi off. They don't block the 5G. Okay? Yeah. Worst place to ever be is in a high-rise or a large condominium apartment. If you've got cancer, you have to move. You got to go move to a separate house in the country. Nature heals. Okay? Nina, what is structured water and how do I get it? Well, I showed it earlier. That's the portable. You can buy a whole house unit and it'll structure all the water in your house, or you can buy the portable and you can run anything through this. And you know what? Whether you believe this or not, you can run your wine through here and just run maybe 3 ounces out of a whole quart and put the 3 ounces back in. And guess what? You'll get as drunk as a skunk, but you won't have a hangover. I'm not kidding. It protects you from that which ails you. That's why you can structure water right from a river, right? I travel around the world, and you can think I'm crazy, but I'll take a Doc of Detox portable structure unit and just put it under any tap. And as long as the water's clear, I'm going to drink the water. Yeah, there's crazy. Okay, and then we'll take this, and I'll actually take just a vice grip, and we'll take this to put it on. And we travel with this, and we'll put this on in hotels when we can, because then the water structure. There's no filter, but the chlorine, the fluoride can't bother you. And if you're showering in a chlorine shower, then you are showering in what I'd like to call a toxic gas chamber. Yeah, I guess I could call it that. That's structured water. Structured water is rainwater, fast-moving water coming down off a mountain. That's also structured water. Christina, and if you want to know about structured water, go again to my library and click on the structured water guide, and you'll see I've got some videos in there, and I've got explanations, and it's known in science as fourth phase water, so it really truly does exist. Christina, how can a husband lose his beer belly? He looks 5 months pregnant, and at the age of 45, he had a heart attack. Well, first of all, he's going to have to be willing to change, and that's the problem. Most men won't change for their wives. You know, when you look like you're 5 months pregnant, that means that you're full of fungus. And understand, when you become full of fungus, and you've got leaky gut, you're full of fungus, it's systemic. The fungus actually cause you to crave fungusy things like beer, like refined carbohydrates, chips, ice cream, anything sugary, okay, sweet breads, or just bread itself. All right, so at 45 having a heart attack. Well, you got to understand something. With your gut sticking out, that's gas. That same gas that's blowing your gut out is also putting pressure up on your heart, and it's got like a vice grip around your heart. You know what, Christina, if you take your husband, get him to lay down on the bed, and even if he is right-handed, he will be an inch higher around his heart. That is actually inflammation, calcification, and scar tissue formation. Now, believe it or not, in 20 minutes, I could use Wolfe Non-Surgical and lovingly take that apart, and he would increase his oxygen supply by 30 or 40%. I didn't make that up. And he would have that pressure off his heart. But right now, it's like he's got this vice grip around his heart. And the reality is, if you look like you're 5 months pregnant, that means you're pooping into your pelvis, pooping into your bloodstream, which means that fecal matter, if you've ever been in a barn and you go in there, it's hard to breathe because the bacteria in the gas eats up all the oxygen. So he's eating up the oxygen. He's so acidic, and he's getting rid of the alkaline minerals, so he's going to have more heart attacks. Okay? He's got to take a look get him on the daily cleansing tea. If you can't do anything else, get him on the tea and watch how he loses 5, 6, 7 inches around his waist in 2 or 3 weeks. Because what's happening is Your husband has his own private manure pile in his lower abdomen, and he's rotting out. You know that. He goes to the bathroom. You don't want to go in there. Probably peels the wallpaper off the wall, for God's sakes. You can't even, if he farts, you know it burns your eyes, for God's sakes. So you got to understand that he's rotting from the inside out. So you got to understand something. 95% of the population has root rot. That means their large intestine is dysfunctionally broken. Okay, because they've got more bad bacteria than they got good bacteria. And then when you have root rot long enough, you get rotten to the core, which means your whole abdominal cavity is rotting out. And then wherever the block is in the body, whether it's up in the head or down in the toe, that is going to get worse and worse until you have a blowout. And that's the truth. And boy, you know, I say this and people don't get this or they don't believe me. And I just keep saying, please come on and challenge me. Somebody come on. I'm okay. You come on and challenge me. We'll do it live. The reality is I'm right. Go to my website and click on how to become number one at the art of number two. It's 6 hours. But after that 6 hours, you're going to learn about a fart attack, a heart attack, a stroke. You're going to learn about why you've got inflammation in your pelvis, why you've got ovaries, why you have infertile problems, why prostate cancer has gone up 400% in the last 5 years, and how it's going to go up 4,000% in the next 10 to 20 years. And I'm not kidding, because men are rotting out. You're going to find out why you've got joint problems, why you've got eye problems. It's all on there. It's called the domino effect of pooping in your body. That's it. Understand something. Isn't it the craziest thing? Large intestine is the most important organ in the human body, and it's the one that's attacked the most by the medical system. Go figure. Why is that? Why is that? Why do we think that we have to attack the bug? The bug is what keep. You know what? Look it. We got 50 trillion cells. We got 500 trillion bugs. And those bugs make and shape us. We're a walking glob of bacteria. And you know what? The craziest thing, I have never, ever got any gel. You know that bacterial gel that you're supposed to, for your hands when you go into stores and everywhere else? I've never done it. I've never done it, and I never will. You know what? I'm going to tell you something right now. I've got silver gel. I can use a little bit of silver gel if I want to do that. But understand something. Here we are using bacterial soap and bacterial gels. Okay, meanwhile, it's a virus that's killing us. God, will somebody make up their mind? This is all just Looney Tunes, okay? You know, yeah. I'm hoping I can evolve enough that I don't have to come back to planet Earth. There's the God's truth. See, I just told it out. There it is right there. Because I don't know if I could do another round of this. Okay? It's all just crazy. Just so crazy. Kate, can you give any advice for endometriosis? Endometriosis, guys. Oh my gosh. Isn't this one of those days? I didn't make these up. Kate, I'll tell you what endometriosis is. You wouldn't have endometriosis if you weren't pooping in your pelvis. Okay, first of all, if you didn't have any infection in your pelvis, then you wouldn't have any inflammation, would you, Kate? Think about it. Think about it. So endometriosis just means that you're full of scar tissue in your pelvis. You've got spider webbing there, and eventually you're going to have a fibroid tumor. And it means that spider webbing is choking off your uterus, and it's going to choke off your fallopian tubes. It's going to choke off your ovaries. Okay? It's even going to choke off your bladder, because that's what you're doing. You're growing all these roots, scar tissue roots, and you can't grow scar tissue in your pelvis unless you have tons of inflammation, because the scar tissue is to try to wall off the inflammation so it doesn't attack all these very tender, beautiful little organs. But how would you get so much inflammation in there unless you had infection? Because you can't have inflammation without infection. The only other way you get inflammation in your body is if you are always in a fearful state and you're dumping adrenaline and cortisol continually. So if you're terrorizing yourself, you're going to have a ton of it. But that's not still telling me why you have endometriosis. You got to be pooping in your pelvis to have that. My partner is waiting for surgery. She is really struggling with pain, bloating, migraines, low energy, low moods, as well as exhaustion. Well, your ovaries are getting the crap kicked out of them. So once your ovaries get the crap kicked out of them, then you're going to start getting breast problems too. okay? And you can't mess around with your ovaries and your uterus and not have pain and then not have low energy. Pain steals energy. Look, when I get a little bit of pain, I go, okay, I'm out of alignment. What do I need to do? What other people do is go, whoa, where the hell did that come from? Oh my God, I'm cursed. Give me some medication. Let me suppress that. Oh, let me go to the chiropractor again. Let me go do this again. Let me go do that again. You know, the reality is that she also says she has bloating, which means that she's not digesting. And the reality is if she's not digesting, trust me, the problem is maybe she couldn't swallow something. You make me sick to my stomach on an emotional level. I can get that. But the reality is that it's always the large intestine that's causing the trouble. Get the cork out. Let the flow start happening. You know, everything is about flow in life. Everything's about flow. Migraines. She's not drinking a lot of water. I'll give you that much right now. It's not happening. And she's not drinking structured water. And she's not eating a whole plant-based diet. Let me tell you something, Kate. I'll make you a deal right now. You come to us, and I won't charge you one nickel if you can get here. You're from Canada. I don't know. And we'll do a live. Me and you. We'll start off. We'll do a live consultation. You're right here. Then we'll go and we'll work on you and do the Wolfe Non-Surgical on your pelvis, and we'll pull the scar tissue apart lovingly and the crystallization, and we'll allow the blood flow to come back in to carry away the waste. Get you on a whole plant-based diet and start really detoxifying that large intestine. Maybe get you to do some coffee enemas. And guess what? How about this? Within 3 to 6 weeks, Kate is feeling like she's never felt before. End of story. Or you can just keep on going to people that do not want to recognize that you are toxic. Because guess what? It is a swear word to talk about detox in the medical system. It is a swear word to talk about that food has anything to do with disease. It is also something they don't want to talk about is your emotions. And if we were to get our emotions in line, we wouldn't be all over the place. It's called energy in motion. So Kate, you're up, you're down, you're all around, and so is your energy level. And I get it, okay? The pain, who can take the pain? It depresses me. It makes me angry. It makes me upset. And when we're upset, we can't eat properly. We can't digest properly. So it becomes a vicious circle. So stop eating. Stop eating. Why don't you just take a break from eating? Why don't you do some vegetable juicing? Why don't you get the cork out of your bum and do the daily cleansing tea? Because nobody taught you. It's not your fault, Kate, but it is your body. And it is your buddy. So you got to love yourself well, and you got to care for yourself. Understand something. Everybody out there that's suffering, it's not your fault. Even if you're running a program that says, when I'm in pain, I get more love and I get more attention from my family. Well, wouldn't it be great if you just loved yourself and you didn't need attention from them, and you were so lovely that you were giving off this beautiful love and light and energy, and they just wanted to be with you because you're just that beautiful? We all are. We all are. Carrie, I have a friend with prostate issues. Any suggestion? Already talked about them. Hey, I'm going to tell you something about prostate right now. Okay? Here's the deal about prostate. Ready for this? 4 out of 5 men are going to either have prostate inflammation that they can't get it up and they can't pee, or they're going to have cancer. Did you hear what I just said? 4 out of 5 men over the age of 40 years old. That's what's coming in the next 5 years. You got it? And it's because men are rotting out. They're not changing their diet enough. And they've got too many bad habits. Now understand something. You give me a man with a prostate problem and he allows us to get him on a proper diet, okay? Like a whole plant-based diet. And then maybe do some advanced water fasting. But if you've got a prostate problem, we do suppositories. And those suppositories, we put a suppository up your bum. That's right, chum, up your bum. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a suppository that's very healing. And then we're going to put a vibrator, a rectal vibrator. It goes about this far. Suppository is going to be here. We're going to put moringa oil and frankincense on the rectal vibrator so it goes in smooth. Frankincense is very healing for inflammation and infection. Suppositories here. So this thing is going to be facing forward. And here is your rectum here. And guess what? Your prostate's sitting right here. And it's only a little bit of tissue between the prostate and where the vibrator is. So the vibrator is going zzz, and we're going to have that on for 3 to 5 minutes. If you can only take 1 minute, that's okay. But the reality is, guess what? It's all about circulation. And we're going to put something in the suppository is very healing. Put the suppository in, the suppository heats up, and it goes and it infuses into the prostate and into that whole area to bring the inflammation down. That's right. Another miracle. So now we got to go in, though, with Wolfe Non-Surgical, because anybody that has a prostate problem, they have scar tissue calcification and crystallization wrapped around it like a walnut. And we're going to lovingly pull that apart. And we're going to, and guess what? I just know. I look at, I've got the best prostate. I don't care how chronic you are. I got the best prostate strategy in the world. End of story. Had a lady call me up and she goes, "Hi, Dr. Wolfe." And I go, "Hi, how are you?" She goes, "Oh, I'm known as the prostate lady. And I got this really wonderful technique. Men come to me from all over to do this prostate." And I go, "Okay, so what's it about?" So she tells me, and then she goes, "Yeah, I do a prostate massage where I put a finger caught on and I go up their bum." And then I shared with her how to do an abdominal lift, okay, to get their large intestine sitting off their prostate and how to lift that up, and then how to do everything I just told you. And she went, "Oh my God. Wow, I didn't have a prostate formula at all." I said, "Yeah, but the reality is, I've been at this for 40 years. You have to understand something. When I was 26 years old, I opened up the North American Institute for the Advancement of Colon Therapy. So, I've had my head up someone's butt for like 40 years. So I really know that whole area. And understand something. The pelvis is the holy grail of everything. I mean, your pelvis, for men, you've got your testicles. Women, you've got your ovaries. And then we've got our prostate. And then women, you have your uterus. So the reality is that is holy grail central. And there's so much information collected here that then goes into the coccyx, that goes into the spinal fluid, that tells the brain what to do. So you've got to really know that you've got to have that portal called your pelvis. And the healthier you have that, the better the life you're going to have. Okay? There, I think I nailed it. Maybe. Carrie, I've been eating salads and vegetables daily straight from 13 years. I don't know what happened. In the fall of 2019, I lost my taste for good food for about 6 months. Taste did come back. The desire, she went through stress, guys. She went through traumatic stress. I guarantee if I could have her, Carrie, come on here, she would say, "Yeah, I went through a whole traumatic thing." That's right. She knocked her nervous system out. She knocked her whole taste factory out. Taste did come back. The desire for vegetables and salads. I can't seem to get myself to eat it. At times I make myself eat, and good things I can eat. Any suggestions? Yeah. I would suggest that you take a look at the Doc of Detox exercises in my DIY do-it-yourself guide in the library. Start doing the pelvic exercises. Start doing belly button therapy. That would really help. And listen, love, believe it or not, I do clapping, and I even use this bumpy side, you see? And I clap my neck, my face, my whole head. And I clap that probably about an hour, 5 times a week. And yeah, I don't know what I would do without it. It just, it's like your brain, and so much goes on in here. And clapping stimulates stem cells. It increases circulation. It brings down stress. It's a beautiful thing. Anyways, Carrie, I would suggest you get a consult from Tara. She's really good with situations like this. If you want, check it out, okay? Carrie's busy today. Carrie, I have a truly fantastic surgeon. Did a fantastic job removing hanging skin from my weight loss. This was in 2016, 2017. Looks great. Would I have any side effects from this? Maybe not, but just where he actually, where the scar is, get in there and clap it, because all scar tissue in the body can be turned back into connective tissue and beautiful tissue. You give me somebody that's had a cesarean or any type of surgery, and I can show them how to turn that around and have that scar dissolve like they don't have it. And the reality is, when you no longer see the scar from the surgery or the accident, that means that you've gotten rid of the scar tissue that can grow 2 and 3 inches deep in the body. And that's what you want to get rid of. But when you no longer see the scar here, okay, you still would have it down here if you were younger. But the reality is, if you were to just look at, if you're losing mobility, then you've got scar tissue, whether you had surgery or not. If you're losing mobility, okay, don't give me this about I'm older. Don't give me this. Don't compare me to any 65-year-old person, please. Does it look like I even act 65? No, when I'm 85, 95, I'll have full mobility. Okay? Will I have as much energy? Well, of course not. But I'll have a peaceful and I'll have a continual energy. And the reality is I will not look like I'm 20. I get that. But the reality is I will always feel young. And feeling young means pain-free. But you can't be pain-free until you know how to create the perfect day for yourself and you know that you're totally responsible, unless it is an emergency. You're totally responsible for how you feel and look. And it's not your fault if you don't feel or look good right now. But it is your responsibility to find out how to do that. Richard, my husband has had hydrocell for a few years now. Doctor says it will go away on its own. What can he do for the swelling? Well, the reality is swelling is always caused because of inflammation. And then we have extra water, because the water is trying to buffer down the inflammation so that you don't have a blowout. So the reality is he's got to reduce his inflammation, whether it's emotional, whether it's physical, whether it's diet, there's inflammation. So do you turn the Wi-Fi off at night? Do you have to have that glass of wine every night to calm down? Does he have to be taking drugs and medication? Can he not get his bowels to move better by taking the daily cleansing tea? Can he not drink structured water, to drink at least a gallon of water a day of structured water and do a quart of hot structured water first thing in the morning, and then drink hot water throughout the day to cleanse, because hot water cleanses better? And then take a look at my whole plant-based diet in the Perfect Day Guide. You know what? Again, we're talking about why not get a consult and then make us responsible. And if we don't follow through, get your money back. The reality is this: why are you pretending that you know something that you don't know? We have been taught so how to hurt ourselves. We have not been taught how to look after ourselves. Do you want a team? Do you want a team on your side? Christine, any guidance for someone that takes a mood stabilizer? You know, a lot of people are moody because how would you like to feel that you're not good enough? How would you feel how does it feel when you don't have value, or when you feel that other people don't value you? So it's deeper than that. So let's take a look at the beliefs that this person has, because your beliefs make and shape your personality. They create all your reality. And so if we could get in, and this person was willing to tell us what their prominent beliefs are based on, maybe we could teach this person that some of these prominent beliefs are not true. But you know what? Your subconscious is 90% of your brain, and it's just a big cabinet, and it only stores prominent beliefs. So whether a belief is stupid or it's smart, it doesn't care. It's just a filing cabinet. So what if you were running a stupid belief, but you're running it so long, that you thought everybody else was running one just like you? You don't know until you know. You don't know better until you know better. So you got to find somebody that knows better. So you got to find someone that's going to teach this person how to master their emotions. Once you master your mind, you've just mastered your body your whole life. Only reason why COVID is taking the whole world down and we've totally just thrown away everything, okay, is because we've never mastered our own mind. And that's the truth. Iris, what do you do when grinding teeth? What's your cause? Thank you. Well, it's a TMJ problem. It can be an anger problem. We call this the FU point. Don't mean to be like that. But that's, I'm so mad at you. Okay. It can also be grinding teeth is also a sign of worms. It could be that as well. Okay. So a sign of worms, also being so tense, so angry, so much anxiety. Okay? So we need to look at both things. We need to do a worm cleanse, and also, if I were to get in there and do Wolfe Non-Surgical in the TMJ area, they wouldn't be grinding their teeth tonight, because there's a knot in here, okay? And then with that knot, we store programs in our tissues. Oh, you don't, do we? We don't store programs in our tissues? Let me tell you something. First of all, you start practicing something, you repeat it enough, right? First it's in short-term memory, then it goes into long-term memory, and it becomes a prominent thought in your subconscious until the point that you actually can put on your pants without thinking how to do it, tie your shoes without thinking how to do it, make coffee without thinking how to do it, make love without thinking how to do it. So guess what? Then that becomes what we call a habit. And a habit is when it's actually in, okay, the unconscious mind. Do you know what the unconscious mind is? It's your body, okay? It's unconscious, but I know how to go like this. I know how to button my shirt, okay? I know how to do things without even thinking about them. Because remember what, you may not realize this, but this is a fact. The majority of the population, okay, especially the mask wearers, and I'm not picking on you, okay, they're only in the present moment for 2 to 5%. The rest of the time, they're in fear mode. They're not in the present moment. They don't own their energy. They don't own their power. They're either regretting something or fearful of the future. The reality is, no matter what's going on outside of you, if you could just stay here in this present moment, that's when the present is the same thing as a gift, isn't it? I'll give you a present. I'll give you a gift. So staying in the present, you become the gift. And then if you're in the present, you become the gift, and you're the gift to the world. If you're not in the present moment and you're fearful of your future, then you're a gift to no one. Okay? And that is called terrorizing. And that's what we do. We terrorize ourselves. So if I could get you to do belly button therapy, okay? If I could get you to do Mag Infusion to calm you down. If I could get you to drink enough structured water to put the fire out. If I could get you connecting to the Lionheart breathing. If I could get you to wear a Braveheart love band and go, 3, 2, 1, I got this. 3, 2, 1, I'm bigger than this. 3, 2, 1, I'm bigger than a virus. 3, 2, 1, I don't need a vaccination. I am my vaccination. Okay? Jaqui. Morning, doc. Please help. I've lost a lot of hair. This happened 9 years ago, thyroid Hashimoto's, which is total terrorism. So she was being terrorized by the outside world or herself or both. And then again, 4 years ago, I now again am devastated. Yep, because 4.5 years ago, she went through some traumatic thing again, and she took it all personal. The reality is, if something happens that's trauma in your life, if you can't get back to peace, to calm, to balance quickly, then you're going to destroy yourself. So anyways, she hated where she was at, and guess what? It totally wiped out her liver, and she's losing her hair. Okay, I'm devastated to be here again. Can you advise me? I'm very much appreciated. Well, first of all, you got to stop terrorizing yourself. You need to start, if you want to grow your hair back, get yourself an Avacen, AVACEN. You can get $500 off. I know it's more expensive than other things, but nothing increases your circulation by 66%. This does. This is better than a hyperbaric chamber. You'll see if you use this a few times a day that you will actually grow 25% of your hair back, probably within 3 to 6 months or even more. And then if you started clapping, okay, and then we got you to get on the whole plant-based diet, get your bowels moving properly, get drinking the right water, but do liver cleansing, okay? Start detoxifying and doing the ultimate liver cleanse. You'll find it in my Perfect Day Guide. Okay, your hair's going to grow back. That's it. I'm losing my hair. No, you're losing your mind and your hair. Okay. Tennille, I was diagnosed with ADHD, which I don't really believe there is such a thing, at a young age. She was just very hyper, and her parents didn't know that giving her all that flour and all that sugar was not a good thing. Okay. And I was put on Concerta for it. I've been wanting to come off of it. Concentration has been something I'm still struggling with. Would you have any advice for me? Well, I can guarantee you right now that most people struggle with just thinking properly because they're stressing out about their life. The other thing is that guess what? Most people don't drink enough water. You'll always know there's two things. First of all, you can't think right. Well, wow, he's right. I didn't drink much water today. Yeah, because your brain will burn out. Okay. And first your brain burns out and then you get dry in your mouth. Oh, wow. Why would I be dry in my mouth? Well, you're way too dehydrated already. So once you get a little bit foggy and your focus isn't there, that's total dehydration. Once you're dry in your mouth, it's too late. You've already done damage. You got to get this, everyone. Nobody talks about it because by getting people to drink structured water, you just don't make a lot of money. You sell them a structured water unit, it's over. It's good for life. But the reality is, okay, let me see here. Hopefully she's off these drugs, but she needs essential fatty acids. I put her on our Ocean Essentials, which are, some people are going to go, oh my God, I don't like that. But they're seal oil, and the seal oil are mammal, so they have the same molecular structure as a human. So we actually absorb the essential fatty acids from seal oil, which it's pharmaceutical grade, 400% better than any other essential fatty acid in the world. Okay? So I would get her on that. But I'll tell you right now, if you want to turn this around, get a consult. You know what? Do you know how easy it is to spend $150? Right. On a product that's not going to work? What if we could actually get your mind, okay, into the right vibration of this thing? And what if we could actually create a strategy from the minute you woke up until you went to bed on an emotional, physical, nutritional level? Wow, wouldn't that be something? Okay, Michael, what is a natural way to get off blood thinners? Well, Michael, you're going to have to call me. Why are you on the blood thinners? If you've got a stent, you're going to need to stay on them. Okay? Very few people can come off of them after they have a stent. A stent is a foreign object, and it's going to continually collect scar tissue, calcium, crystallization, and it's going to get all gucked up, and that's why you're on the blood thinners. Okay? So there's things you can take, there's things you can do. I could tell you natural things. Just drinking enough structured water is going to help, bud, because blood is mainly made out of water. So, let's get the right kind of water and enough of it. Okay, let's get our bowels moving. Let's get on a whole plant-based diet. Everybody can be a whole plant-based eater, not a vegetarian. Vegetarians are not healthy. They can do a kind of a cheese substitute. They do crackers. They do all kinds of pastas. But no, I'm talking about a whole plant-based diet. A diet full of life, full of enzymes, full of nutrients, okay? You can call me if you want, Michael, extension 5, and if not, I would get a consult. Denise, osteoarthritic and back disc issues. No, dehydration and displaced calcium and tons of scar tissue. This girl's not on a good diet, okay? And she's probably stressing out. When you stress out, you're dumping adrenaline, cortisol, which is totally acidic. It fries your tissues like putting a burger on the barbecue and forgetting about it until it's a piece of beef jerky. And that's what's happening. So through diet, through emotions, we can just fry ourselves right out, and you're frying the tissue out. Okay? So disc issues, that's because the discs are so dehydrated, they're thinning out, but she hasn't lost any tissue. She needs to hydrate again, okay? Now, I would suggest you start looking at the pelvic activation squats. I would suggest that you start doing actually the crab curl. Look in my DIY and look at those exercises, okay? There's videos. I do them for you. And I would suggest, again, you get a consult, okay? We're always coming back to the same things. So it's like this. Dr. Wolfe doesn't know very much, He almost says the same thing each time, He kind of scares me. Yeah. Well, you shouldn't be, because guess what? Can I give you a clue? Yeah. It was never supposed to be difficult. It was simple, and it was created by our Creator that way. And that's the way nature works, simple. Man is a manipulator, okay? And mankind is not kind, so I don't even know why he got that name. So the reality is you're confused for a reason. My God, look at us today, okay? We actually think that a vaccination that you cannot sue if you get injured is going to heal us. Wow. Okay, whatever. Cheryl, thoughts on ozone therapy? It's good. It's not the end all be all. Richard, hello, doctor. I've been having trouble with my lymph nodes on the left side of my neck. Okay, the first time. Well, lymph nodes back up when the bowel does. Do you understand? Bowels. You got to get the cork out. The lymph dumps into the bowels, everyone. The first time was about a year ago and was caused by a tooth infection. That's right. So if you got a tooth infection and your lymph nodes were backed up already, where's it going to go? It can't be carried away by the lymph nodes. And if the lymph nodes are backed up, that means the bowel's backed up. So you don't have very good bowel movements. Now, if you did have scar tissue in this area here, you could get a lymph node that's swollen because of scar tissue. So you got to get rid of the scar tissue. If it was me, I would be clapping it, okay? So if I had a lymph node right here, I'd be clapping below it, and I'd be clapping right here. And then I would lightly clap on the lymph node. And then what I would do is I put a little bit of DMSO rose cream on the lymph node, maybe 3 times a day. And then I would put Muscle Restore, okay, a little bit of Muscle Restore, just a little dab, Muscle Restore essential oil on there maybe 12 times a day. And guess what? It's gone. But you gotta uncork your bowel, and you got to get your lymph system moving. And so you might want to just also clap underneath here, okay? And every woman should be clapping under here at least 3 minutes to 5 minutes every day here. First, I had a lady and I said, okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to drain, look at this, massage and drain under the lymph node, right? To drain. So it's like this. This is a massage technique. And then you drain, you push it under here. And she said, oh my gosh, after I did that, I swelled up. And I said, yeah, that's because you're blocked up. Then I told her, start clapping here. You forgot to do that. And she goes, oh, I did. So she started clapping here. And now she says her breasts feel great. Okay, so, but that, just because you don't have breasts, you still should do it. Even if you're a man and you've got it, you need to clap the lymph node gently, and then you can go harder and harder. You're not going to cause problems. Trust me. Okay. Okay, the first time was about a year ago and was caused by a tooth infection. Now I have pain and soreness on the left side of my neck. Again, for the past 3 or 4 days. What can I do? I just told you. Okay? And if you want, you can get a consult. We're going to show you how to clap. We're going to show you how to do all this. Bon, what about exemption cards from masks? How can we get one? Exemption cards, I'll tell you what. I'll put the picture of the exemption cards in the next 2 days up on my Telegram. I am going to keep everything controversial away from Facebook, because if I'm not up on Facebook tomorrow, then I'm gone. If I'm still up on Facebook tomorrow, then you know what? I don't want to take away all your teaching and learning. So I'm going to be putting everything that's controversial on Telegram and BitChute. I'm going to avoid doing it here, okay? This is just going to become a training platform, health, wealth for you, okay? So Wednesday, December the 9th at 3 p.m., I'll be giving you a clapping overview. We've improved the clapping video, so if you want to check that out, Monday, December the 14th, I will have a clapping overview, DocTalk Live. So like today, Monday, we're going to focus on anybody who's got questions on clapping. Please put them on the video when you watch 3 p.m. on Wednesday. And if you don't want to watch it then, watch Thursday on YouTube or Facebook. Excuse me. Okay, Tuesday, December 15th, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are going to have Become Number One at the Art of Number Two Marathon. Okay, it's a marathon. I mean, this is the whole scoop on poop. And understand something, guys. It's all about your poop. Upcoming courses, like I said, March 13th to March 20th for Whole Life Coach, and then Wolfe Non-Surgical, March 22nd to April 2nd. And then understand something. Wait now. That's right. And then we'll be having our first masterclass in the new year called Whole Life Mind and Body Masterclass. It's 3 days, everyone. It's for those people who want to get in and say, I want to get started. And then I'm going to go over everything you need to know nutritionally, emotionally, exercise. We're going to go through a lot of stuff. Okay. So watch out for that. And that's about it. And we made it to the end. And I want to thank everybody for joining me. Okay. And just know that it is my deepest honor and pleasure to be here for you. And I really, truly hope that, that I'm still on Facebook after tomorrow. But if I'm not, then there's other ways that you can reach me. Telegram, BitChute. I guess I'm still on Instagram. Yeah, that's it. So don't forget, everyone, every Monday, I have a live Q&A. And we're on, like I said, YouTube, Facebook, and Intercom. And what else? When watching YouTube, don't forget to subscribe below and make sure that you click on the bell to enable notifications so that you never miss a show. And all our Q&As are timestamped 24 hours after, and they're put up on YouTube, okay? Also, if you want to listen to any of my shows or teachings, you can download the audio on iTunes, Spotify, or SoundCloud. God bless everyone. I mean, God bless everyone. And why can't we just love everyone? Okay? All right? Take your power back. But better still, stop giving it away. Take care. Is that it? We're on?